Hello everyone. Welcome to Diversity and Inclusion Workplace Strategies course, a practical, research-driven course designed for today's hybrid, global, and tech-driven workplace. In this course, you will go beyond theory and into real-world action. You will gain 7 comprehensive modules, over 20 real case studies from companies like Google, Microsoft, SAP, Accenture, Salesforce, Airbnb, and more. Proven models and frameworks, like Deloitte's Inclusive Leadership, Gartner's DEI Maturity Model, and the Seeds Bias Model. Downloadable checklists, scorecards, and templates for immediate use. Tools to build inclusive hiring funnels, pay equity audits, DEI scorecards, and sustainable roadmaps. I will walk you through how to design inclusive recruitment strategies, how to build psychological safety and accountability into your culture, how to measure and prove the business impact of DEI, and how to future-proof your DEI strategy in the age of AI and global disruption. Whether you're an HR leader, team manager, or DEI advocate, this course gives you the skills, data, and confidence to take action today. I am excited to kick things off by exploring what diversity, equity, and inclusion mean and why they're critical in 2025. Whether you're an HR professional, manager, or DEI advocate, this course will equip you with practical tools to create workplaces where everyone thrives. Let me briefly tell you about myself. I have over 15 years of experience in the field of human resources management. I started working at the company, Alpha Insurance. Then I moved to work at insurance company, PZ2. After that, I started working in the hotel industry at the Fairmont Grand Hotel Kyiv. After that, I transferred and worked at the Fairmont Hotel in Chicago. Then I returned and worked at the Hyatt Regency Kyiv, and after that, I changed fields and started working in the IT industry at the company Wentrum. And now I work at the company Trionica. Okay, so in this module, we will talk about Statement of Diversity and Inclusion and Race Framework. In today's business landscape, DEI is no longer just a buzzword. It's a strategic imperative. Understanding what each element of DEI stands for is the first step toward cultivating inclusive environments that drive innovation and performance. Diversity refers to the presence of differences that include race, ethnicity, gender, age, sexual orientation, disability status, socioeconomic background, and beyond. It's about representation and the richness that comes from bringing together individuals with different experiences and identities. A diverse workplace is a dynamic one, but diversity alone doesn't ensure equity or inclusion. Equity means fairness. It involves identifying and removing barriers that prevent individuals or groups from full participation. This might include correcting pay disparities, providing accessible tools for people with disabilities, or creating mentorship programs for underrepresented groups. Equity requires acknowledging that not everyone starts from the same place and ensuring systems are designed to support each individual's path to success. Inclusion is about creating an environment where all people feel welcomed, respected, supported, and valued. Inclusion ensures that every voice is heard and considered. It's not enough for someone to be present. They must also feel that they belong. To structure your DEI journey, I introduce the RACE framework. R. Recognize biases, gaps, and systemic challenges within your organization. A. Act with intentional, strategic initiatives that respond to those challenges. C. Commit to measurable goals with leadership buy-in. E. Evaluate your progress continuously through data and feedback. The template with the RACE framework and a completed example is available in the resources for this section. Let's bring this to life with real-world examples. Salesforce began using pay equity audits in 2015. They recognized pay disparities, acted by investing $16 million to close those gaps, committed to DEI goals at the executive level, and evaluated annually. By 2023, their leadership diversity rose by 33%. contributing to the success of inclusive platforms like Customer 360. Unilever recognized underrepresentation in leadership roles. They acted with inclusive hiring practices and committed to having 50% of leadership positions filled by women. By 2023, female executive representation rose by 15%, and inclusive branding efforts, like Dove's body positivity campaign, resonated across global markets. Accenture identified remote employee exclusion. They acted by launching virtual employee resource groups and committed to DEI goals in all business units. As a result, they saw a 10% reduction in attrition and improved engagement scores. Why does this matter in 2025? According to McKinsey's 2020 report, companies in the top quartile for gender diversity on executive teams were 25% more likely to have above-average profitability. Gallup's 2021 data shows that inclusive companies enjoy 23% higher productivity and stronger retention. And with Gen Z entering the workforce, 72% of them prefer employers who actively support DEI initiatives. As you move forward, remember that DEI isn't a project. It's a cultural shift. It requires intention, patience, and consistency. Throughout this course, we'll revisit the RACE framework to help you apply DEI strategically in areas like hiring, pay equity, leadership, and long-term planning. Now we will explore why diversity, equity, and inclusion are critical components of sustainable business growth and performance, especially in 2025's evolving workplace. DEI initiatives are increasingly linked to measurable business performance, not just ethics. According to a 2022 report by Josh Bersin Company, companies that embed DEI into their business strategy are 2.6 times more likely to engage and retain their workforce, and 3.2 times more likely to be high-performing organizations. These findings reinforce that DEI is a core driver of talent optimization and operational resilience. To help organizations build a solid argument for investing in DEI, we'll use the Business Case Canvas, a 4-part framework. Goals: what DEI outcomes does your organization aim for, like diverse executive leadership? Metrics: how will you measure success? For example, engagement surveys, retention rates. Actions: what specific initiatives will you implement? For example, employee resource groups, policy changes. Impact: what tangible outcomes have resulted? For example, increased innovation, brand reputation, sales. The template with the business case canvas and a completed example is available in the resources for this section. Let's examine real-world applications. Visa publicly committed to increasing underrepresented U.S. executive hires by 50% by 2025. They implemented leadership development programs for Black and Latinx employees, invested in inclusive recruitment strategies, and measured progress annually. Their internal inclusion index rose by 14% in 1 year, and executive diversity increased by 8%. Schneider Electric. The company launched its DEI global strategy by embedding equity principles into talent processes. They developed KPIs to track gender pay gaps, parental leave usage, and inclusive leadership behavior. As of 2023, Schneider Electric reported a 25% increase in female leadership globally and attributed it to measurable DEI-linked accountability. L'Oréal integrated inclusive product development into its core innovation strategy. Through diverse R&D teams and inclusive marketing campaigns, the company saw a 20% increase in engagement from Gen Z consumers. Their 2023 annual report noted that their inclusive product design contributed to a 6% rise in overall customer loyalty scores. Unlike generic diversity efforts, these organizations defined clear business-aligned goals and tracked outcomes through internal dashboards and external reporting. Now it's your turn. Use the Business Case Canvas template to 1. Set a DEI-aligned business goal. For example, reduce turnover in underrepresented groups. 2. Define 2 to 3 key metrics, like promotion rates or employee net promoter score. 3. Plan actions, like developing ERGs, inclusive leadership training, or policy updates. 4. Measure outcomes, such as increased retention or team innovation ratings. Here is the tip. Start small. Choose one team or department. Present the case using this canvas in your next leadership meeting. For support, reference the Josh Bersin stat that integrated DEI companies are 3.2x more likely to outperform peers. Make the next exercise. Pick one current business challenge, like new market expansion. Write down one way DEI can strengthen that effort. For instance, by assembling a cross-cultural team to localize branding strategies. As we continue, remember, DEI isn't an add-on, it's a force multiplier. The smartest companies don't just have DEI, they live it, measure it, and profit from it. Let's continue to the next module to explore the diverse identities that make up our workforce and how we can fully support them. Okay, we finished first module. See you on the next module.